This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Now, for the second straight day, we are waking up to some white conditions outside. Here's a view from Drive 8 on the road. A little snow, a lot of ice remain on the ground across the metro area this morning. But we have hope for conditions to improve in a lot of areas and for travelers to get moving today. And good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday morning. I'm Tim Gordon, alongside all-important meteorologist Chris McGinnis.
And Merry Christmas Eve to you,
Merry
sir.
Christmas Eve to you as well,
My gift
man.
to you
is what?
is the gift that keeps giving.
Yes.
The cold, gorge east wind is doing its thing. And so if you're just tuning in, I want to let folks know that we are not completely done with the freezing rain threat, and I'll walk you through that in a second. Right now, it's 30 degrees at PDX. The door to the refrigerator is still open. The east wind at PDX is still on the order of about 15 miles an hour or so, and that is keeping a good chunk of the metro area below freezing. Vancouver's at 30. Hillsborough and Forest Grove, 31 and 30 respectively. Gresham's at 30. Westland checking in with 32. We slipped down in the Willamette Valley. Salem's actually been teetering between 33 and 34, as has Corvallis. So the warm air is trying to work its way very slowly northward. It's not going to get into the metro, though, before the next round of precipitation moves in. And so for that reason, the Weather Service has issued a new winter weather advisory for the lower Columbia Valley. So that includes Lake Clatskanie and St. Helens, Scappoose, etc., and the Portland-Vancouver metro area. This is until 4 p.m. Now, I don't think it will take that long to get most of us above freezing. It may, though, the closer you are to the Columbia River Gorge, and that's just the way things work out, and we know that. We're used to that. But I wanted to point out where the precipitation is right now. It's through the North Oregon Coast Range and through portions of the South Washington Coast. We're cloudy but dry with temperatures just below freezing right now. So obviously, everything that on the roads from yesterday is there, right? So if your roads were untreated, they're still slick. As we go into the late morning hours, precipitation develops. It probably starts as a period of freezing rain. How long? Not 100% sure, but we are confident that later this afternoon we do warm above freezing, and then by tonight we are all above freezing in the metro area with just rain in the forecast tonight and tomorrow. More on that coming up in just a few minutes.
Okay, Chris, thanks. And yeah, we look forward to that tonight. All rain. Sounds good. Well, travel is still out of the question on I-84 through the gorge. The interstate is closed from Troutdale to Hood River, and also now in eastern Oregon from about Pendleton to the Idaho border. ODOT says a combination of snow, ice, and high winds has created very dangerous conditions out there in the gorge. As you see here, though, crews are working to clear the pavement, but there's no estimate right now for when I-84 will reopen. TripCheck.com is the place to go for updates anytime on that. And right now, SR 14 in Washington is open to passenger vehicles, but not to commercial trucks. All right, Evan Watson and photographer Eric Patterson are in Drive 8 this morning for us. And you guys are moving now on I-205 headed to Southwest Washington, right, Evan?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tim. Good morning. We are on 205, just about getting to the Glenn Jackson Memorial Bridge, the 205 bridge. We just got on this on-ramp over here and tested those out, and we're seeing what the bridge feels like, because as we know, those can be a little bit slippery, a little bit icier surfaces than you might find in the highways or elsewhere. Currently, they feel all right. These roads, we've got about 3 to 4-ish lanes open and clear as we're getting over the bridge, heading over to Southwest Washington. Earlier this morning, we drove I-84 eastbound out of Portland to that Troutdale exit that you mentioned there because of those closures. While the highway can feel pretty solid and pretty good, you can see it's fairly wet. You see the reflection of the taillights on the road, meaning that it's not going to be, you can see kind of the melted ice rather than, so it's just water there instead of just icy conditions. The highway may feel good. The on and off ramps can feel a little bit different while driving, so take those shortly. Our initial drive out of Portland east was cleared, 3 lanes open most of the time, but around Wood Village, that change became a little more dicey, so more slushy and icy. So I want to be clear, Tim, this driving is manageable. We're not sliding around like an oyster on a half shell here. It's encouraging news for people who need to drive somewhere on this Christmas Eve, but take caution, drive slower than usual, pick a lane and keep it, and please use your turn signals when you need to use a lane change. I wouldn't recommend eating your breakfast on the road this morning either, even if you're feeling like Tim and are hungry for some shrimp tempura today. But ultimately, light traffic out here compared to what you might see normally. We saw a lot of cars going to the airport, so be aware of that if you're going to the airport, because people are trying to get back there for their flights this morning that might have been canceled or delayed. But cars seem to be moving well. Highways are manageable, and local and city streets are a bit more snow-packed. So take that into account when you're driving around and moving forward today. Tim?
Yeah, you know I love shrimp tempura. It's just one of my favorite things ever, obviously. Good advice. Thank you very much, Sarah. Yeah, on and off ramps, there's still slippery spots out there, so be aware and take it easy. And you guys take it easy too. We'll talk to you soon. Well, local shelters are full this weekend as people take refuge from the cold. Nearly 800 are staying in Multnomah County shelters alone. The warming shelter at Reynolds High School in Troutdale is one of 5 severe weather shelters in Multnomah County. People there being provided with meals, behavioral health, and medical support.
The temperatures that we've been experiencing here in Portland are not temperatures that folks can be outside and stay safe. And if they do stay outside for prolonged periods of time, that their life is at risk.
Yeah, in fact, Portland Fire and Rescue says many of its calls this week were to provide assistance to vulnerable people on the streets before they were taken inside to safety where they needed to be.
Chaotic.
It's been really hectic.
It's so crazy right now.
Now, chaotic was the word of the day at PDX. Almost all flights in and out were canceled on Friday. And it wasn't just our ice. We're seeing winter weather all across the country. And passengers who learned they'd have to stay at least another night here scrambled to change their plans.
There's just a mad dash of people scrambling to book hotel rooms for this flight that they missed. You're just watching them disappear as you're trying to book them. It's just a race of everybody on the same flight trying to get a room for the night.
Then comes the next part, trying to get another flight. We heard reports of 5-hour hold times with customer service agents. Alaska Airlines, which operates the majority of flights in and out of PDX, said in a statement, due to very full flights over the next several days, it is likely to take multiple days to accommodate guests who need new flights. This is a look at the departure board for PDX this morning, and boy, it looks a lot better than yesterday. There's a few sprinklings of cancellations there, but plenty that say on time. That's good to see, but again, check before you head out to PDX. Well, just a week left until the new year. Washington drivers are set to deal with another new fee. Coming up next, the potential impact on gas prices in the Evergreen State.